Okay, so hopefully you've got your test there and you can go along and do some of these and stop the video when you think that you know what to do. Then you can fast forward and check that you've done the right thing. So remember, when we are simplifying fractions here, okay, we want to express it as a single fraction. We need to get the same denominator. So you need to look at the 4 and the 3. What's the number that goes into both 4 and 3? And the clear answer, the clear winner, is 12. So with the 4, what did you times 4 by to get to 12? We times that by 3. And of course, what you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top, and you must use brackets. So that becomes 3 times 3x take 5 plus, and over here now, what did you do to the 3 to make it become 12? You times by 4. Again, what you do to the bottom, you do to the top. Now, personally, what I like to do is I call that cross multiplying. So you're going 3 times 4 and 4 times, 3 times 4, 3 times that one and 4 times the other side. Okay, so we end up with 4, 2 plus 11x. Now, the brackets are essential because one, when it helps you multiply both things in the bracket, but also if this was a negative instead of a positive, that makes life a lot easier if you've got those brackets there. So 3 3s are 9x, 3 times minus 5 is minus 15. We get 4 2s 8. 4 times 11x is 44x, all over 12. Okay, we've got 9x plus 44, which is 53. X's minus 15 plus 8 is still minus 7. You know, you can check that on your calculator. Now, always double check. Is there a number that goes into 53 and 7? There's not, so that's as low as you can go. All done, all dusted. Okay, so now number 2 is pretty much the same. Just make sure that you put that 1 over. And as we said, it's really important when you cross multiply here. Okay, you get 5x times 2. But notice here, 1 times, so it's minus 1 technically, right? You don't need that 1 there, but it's minus 1 times 3 plus 2x. Now, most of the time, we don't put that 1 there. And it's all over 2. Because we just know that it is indeed a minus that goes all the way through. So 2 times 5x is 10x. We get minus 3. And now, see, this is where you get the minus 1 times plus 2 is minus 2x. If you didn't have that bracket, you would have said that was plus 2x, and we would have been wrong. So carry on and finish that. All right. With this one, we've got this divide, and remember it's x plus 6 over 8. When we're dividing fractions, you replace the divide with a times. You flip the fraction, and there we go. And it could be as easy as that, and we just times the tops and the bottoms, because remember, A on B times C on D, that just becomes the tops times each other and the bottoms times each other. But for us, instead of just timesing, we want to try and simplify as well. So we look at the x plus 6. Look at the denominator on the right-hand side, and we can see that 3 is common. So we pull out that 3, and we get x plus 6, and now we can do our cancelling, right? So I can say, well, 4 goes into 8 twice, and this x plus 6 goes into that once. So now, what have we got upstairs? We've got the 1, and downstairs we've got the 2 times 3, and that's how we get 6. Okay? If you had multiplied across, you would sort of get the same thing. So you'd get 4 times x plus 6 over 8 times 3x plus 18. Again, you had to remember to use the brackets. You could cancel the 4 and the 8, again, 1 and 2, and then you'd have to pull out your common factor of 3. So you get the same answer. It just depends how you like to do it. Some people find this cancelling messy, then they forget the 2 and the 3 there. So you do a little bit of practice. And then last but not least, this one, you must once again look for common factors. Okay? So you look at the top line and you go, what's the biggest number? The biggest number that can go into 30 and 5? Well, it's 5. Is there a common letter? Clearly A is common. what's the highest power of a that goes into both? Now this has got an a cubed, but a cubed doesn't go into a squared. So a squared is the highest, and then they've both got a b. That's job number one. You've pulled out the highest common factor, and now we have to go, well, what be in the brackets? So if I multiplied by 5a squared b, I would get 30a squared b. A cubed b, sorry. So 5 times what gives me 30? That has to be a 6. If I just left it like that, I'd end up with 30a squared b, and I want 30a cubed b. So obviously I must put an a there, because a squared times a gives me a cubed. Minus 5a squared times what gives me 5a squared b must be the 1. If you didn't put anything there, then you wouldn't end up with that term whatsoever. Downstairs, biggest number that goes into 12 and 2, that's 2. We can see they've both got an a and they've both got a b. So 2 times 6 gives me the 12, and oh my goodness, a times a gives me the a squared minus 1. So we can now say, huzzah! We can cancel that and that. The b divided by the b cancels, and the a squared divided by the a cancel. So we are down to 5a over 2. Okay, and that's how we simplify those fractions. So if you got that wrong in the test, hopefully that has helped. You can find more questions to practice in your textbook.